Alright, hey people, this is Zimp from Black Talon Gaming, and I'm coming to you with this video today. It's going to be my top 5 mods that I like to use with my survival playthrough, with my series Surviving the Wasteland. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. These top 5 mods are designed for the purpose of improving your playthrough quality, I think, without diminishing any of the really challenging features that makes the mod fun. I would say of the 5 mods I've picked today, I think, yeah, of the 5 mods, I would say that, you know, 3 of them do have an impact on how difficult the game can be, not as much as other things, but I mean, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, it does make it easier. In all honesty, all 5 mods make it easier, but these mods I thought went really well with a survival playthrough. They're really fun to use. Most of them don't add, most of them don't take anything away from the experience, is what I'm trying to say. So let's go ahead and get down to business. So, without further ado, my top 5 mods for a survival playthrough. Alright, so my first mod is actually right here, and this is Shay, the Wolf Companion. You can find this on Nexus, and Shay is a fully functional extra follower. And when I say extra follower, there's sort of this thing on Nexus where most of the companions and most of the new followers don't use the standard follower system that's found in the game. They use some sort of new scripting system. The vast majority of them do, and the vast majority use their own scripting system, so you can have, you know, quite a few of these multiple companion follower things going on. So yeah, so Shay is an awesome dog, and I think I may have covered Shay in a previous mod review, but let's go ahead and take a closer look, because I want you to see this thing here. So we got a trade. And you can see Shay's carrying a lot of crap for me right now. Yeah, let me go ahead and, I guess, take some of this stuff off there. Oh, that's a little bit of a... Gonna keep that there, gonna keep that there. Gonna keep those. Gonna keep that there, keep that there. Alright, so pretty much ignore all this other stuff that I'm having Shay carry for me. You know, she's my pack animal right now. But if you look down here, you can see that Shay has her own group of equipment that she can equip. So like right here, if we go to her muzzle, we can remove her muzzle. And, you know, if you go to apparel, you can put the muzzle back on her and equip it. And one of the cool things is with her equipment, it all adds damage resistance. I've actually not taken a look to see if any of her equipment can be further upgraded at a armor workbench. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and take her armor and take her muzzle and take a look at that for her. But she has a whole lot of, even without the ability to upgrade the armor, which I don't think is supported, even without that ability, she has so many options and so many things that you can do. She has these little patches, and you can attach them to her, and they make her better and stuff like that. She's fantastic. I do believe she has the...
Heads up.
Let's see.
That's all for now.
Okay, well, she doesn't have the stuff that Dogmeat does, where Dogmeat can search around for random stuff. However, Shay will randomly bring you crazy shit out in the world, which is kind of cool. She usually digs up some components and brings you components. I've never had anything big like a weapon or even a bottle of water delivered, but little bits of components here and there. Maybe, I think the biggest thing I've ever seen her bring to me was like a telephone or whatever. So it's not bad, you know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and take a look at her armor, because I if I'm able to upgrade her armor, I mean, that would be dope. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. What is this? That's neat. Okay. I have a mod that makes Hangman's Alley have 2 interior apartments. This one and this one's, and I know for a fact that this one I have an armor bench on the top level, so we're gonna go up here and take a look. I have some plans for Hangman's Alley. Yeah, I'm not at the top. I've got some good plans, man. All right, let's take a look. Do I got anything? Oh, I might be able to. At the very least, I can improve her armor, her carrying capacity. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So yeah, I can totally make her armor, you know, better. I've also got the a mod that allows me to craft legendary components on it, and I need. If you look there, the second item needed is an effect chip, and to get effects chips, I have to scrap existing legendary things. So, for example, to produce Athlete on her armor, I'd have to scrap 7 other legendary things, so that's not really broken in my opinion. It's really like I'm trading 7 legendary items for the specific choice of one. So like for the control of one. So I mean, I think it's not too broken. But anyhow, yeah, so you can play around with her armor. There's plenty of other stuff you can do with her. I have a lot of fun with her and Dogmeat. And they really do a good job at tangling up with the enemy so that I don't really get killed or anything. I live right next to a police station, so yeah, sometimes that stuff goes down. Let's go ahead and scrap this stuff. Can I scrap this? Yeah. And see there, I only got 1 effects chip out of it and a little bit of cloth. Right, so that's, yeah. That's Shay, which is my first mod, number 5 on the list. I'm going to go ahead and put in the description a link to the mod so that you can go and download it and check Shay out for yourself. With that said, let's go ahead and move to my next mod. Alright, so my next mod really is probably the most broken one on the list because it's the one that tackles the feature that I absolutely hate. And that is my backpack mod. And I think there are a couple of things that could be updated on the backpack mod. Like right now, I've got the largest backpack that I can possibly have, and it adds 200 pounds or 200 kilograms of carry weight, which is super freaking awesome, but also super freaking broken because I'm definitely not limited as long as I'm wearing my kit out like this. I'm definitely not limited in really picking anything up. Like, I can usually loot an entire dungeon at the same time that I move through it. You know, I have no problem with that. And I just absolutely hated having, especially at lower levels, having no capacity to build a backpack. Like, I can remember at one point, like, my carry capacity was like 60 or something like that. So at those levels, it's like, okay, and then at that point you only have access to the mod. You probably only have the resources to build the mod that increases the backpack's carry weight by like 20 or 30. At those points, it does kind of make sense, you know what I'm saying? You're not, you don't feel too broken. But at this point, like, I can carry, not the world, but I can carry quite a bit. I still run into my weight limit quite often, but it's definitely not a big thing, but it's, once again, if you like having those self-imposed limits and having to be super freaking selective, I still have to be selective in what I pick up and what I carry, but I don't have to worry too much, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can generally pick up a couple, 2 or 3 extra weapons while I'm out questing or what have you. I don't really have to worry about ammunition at all or anything like that. So, I mean, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the mod. I think it is a good addition to um, to survival mode. I think it would be interesting if survival mode updated the sleep mechanic to where you'd have to take off your pretty much everything but like your basic set of clothes, especially like your armor. Like, we sleep in armor, but I mean, to an extent we kind of get that, and that might be a little bit too much, because it's like, if after you slept and you slept in a good bed, would you really forget putting your armor back on? So I mean, that's really like a small issue. Ultimately, if you want to use the backpack, use it. I think it's a great addition to survival. If you don't want to use it, dude, just, like, you know, go on or whatever. I don't need to hear your bull crap about it. That's pretty mean. Alright, guys, so the third mod I want to talk about right now is going to be reusable water bottles, or common reusable water bottles of the Commonwealth, or something like that. I can't remember the mod's name, but don't you worry, I'm gonna put it in the description so you can click there. And this is a really stupidly simple mod, but it makes sense for me, and that is, you drink the water. Let's go ahead and go here. You drink your water, and as a result you get a small bottle, or you get a bottle that you could use to replenish your water, your lost water, and everything like that. So notice there, I've got a bunch of water bottles, and I'm filling them up with dirty water and everything like that. This, I think, is not too like, you're still kind of limited because you have to have access to purified water really to go too far. And if you start using dirty water, of course you're going to take rad damage, so that's going to limit how far out you can go. So you're going to want to be returning to your outpost anyways, so that you can get purified water. And if you have lead belly, then yeah, that kind of removes it, but having lead belly period would just mean that the vast majority of these ponds and stuff like that, you'd be able to stop and drink there anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm not sure if you understood that, but long story short, like, one of the mechanics, especially in survival mode, is how far from your outpost you can go based upon your supplies. And having purified water and having access to water is one of the big hindrances, in my opinion. Having the ability to recycle water bottles, you know, it does make it, like, to me, in my opinion, the ability to recycle water bottles primarily comes into play if it's like an emergency and I absolutely have to drink some radiated water or what have you. Otherwise, to me, it's just kind of like conserving resources and stuff like that. So, I mean, there could be a few tweaks to it, like maybe 1 out of every 5 bottles breaks or what have you, but I'm not too worried about it. And it does come in handy because there's quite a few times in the wasteland you'll be somewhere and, you know, there's, you know, eventually you're going to run through all your water bottle spawns or all your milk bottle spawns in a local area. So being able to reuse the water bottles makes sense. It doesn't make sense that you apparently drink the glass or whatever. So yeah, that's pretty much what I got for the my third mod for any good survival playthrough. Alright guys, so I'm now going to tell you about my 4th mod recommendation, which is my number 2 mod that you should have installed. Like, oh god, numbers, right? This is the 2nd best mod I've ever found for using in a survival playthrough, and that is Everyone's Best Friend, a companion mod for Dogmeat. Essentially, it makes Dogmeat's follower system run parallel to the game's vanilla follower system, so that you can have Dogmeat and another character at the same time. You're asking, okay, why is this survival specific? It's not really. It gives you a little, tiny bit of carrying capacity. I've noticed in survival mode, Dogmeat has almost no carrying capacity at all, so that's kind of funny. The main thing that I like about it is that, especially at lower levels, Dogmeat isn't particularly capable as a combatant. He isn't a good fighter, right? Let's put it that way. And combatant. He isn't as good as a combatant as other followers, and like it kind of doesn't make sense if you're the general of the Minutemen or whatever. That like, oh, general, you've got your dog with you. I'm just gonna stay here then. Sorry, sir. No, sir. You cannot order me to go with you. It's kind of funny that you have to go do all this shit yourself. Anyways, at the very least, I think you should be able to bring your dog and one other person with you. So I've always found that mod to be fun, and it's not super game breaking. You know, it doesn't really change things too dramatically, because especially at low levels without the super animal perks or whatever, Dogmeat doesn't do too well anyhow. But yeah, that's second best mod for a survival playthrough. And let's go ahead and move on to the number 1 mod in my little countdown. Alright guys, so my number 1 pick for the best mod that you can use in any given survival playthrough is going to be Chesco's Conquest mod. I think Chesco's probably going to be expanding on this in a huge, awesome way. I think, like, right now, Conquest mod encompasses a camping system, and it encompasses a system for constructing new settlements where none had existed. If you're familiar with Chesco's mods in Skyrim, if you're familiar with Frostfall and all that, you know that Chesco is a fantastic coder. He's a fantastic modder. He has great vision. I'm really looking forward to where this Conquest mod will go. It's not only the best survival-based mod, but like if you're into settlement building, it is without a doubt the best settlement building mod, simply because it allows you to build more settlements. I would like to see some changes or additions to it. I'm gonna wait till Nuka-Cola comes out. I think I've kind of mentioned this, like I had an idea for a cool mod, and I'm gonna wait for Nuka-Cola or Nuka World to come out and see if anything close to what I'm thinking about is implemented before I go and try to beg Chesco to do this. Or hell, I might be willing to bribe him. I don't care. But there's a lot of things that could be improved with the Chesco mod, and one of the awesome things is with mods of this quality and with this caliber of developer, you know that if the person will read the comments, and the person, like, he'll take in the feedback, and if he decides to do something, you know, then he's going to put it into action. What I'm saying is that the mods development is not just one and done. Chesco will take his mods further and further and further, and they'll get better and better and better. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look. So, essentially in Fallout, if you're out in the world in survival mode and you need to rest or whatever, you might occasionally find a little house like this. I thought this one had a bed, but apparently super wrong. But that's okay. That's exactly what we needed. So, like, you know, you need to set up camp out here. You need to sleep, and you need to sleep really badly, and you need to do it right now. You can go to your inventory if you've got this mod installed, and go to Action, Build Campsite. And then, bam. All of a sudden, you'll get a little sea bag. And this sea bag will indicate where the center of your campsite is, so you can place it right there. And that's what we're going to do. Place there, yeah. And once your sea bag has been placed, this creates a very small settlement area that you can then use to place a number of camping gear things. You can place some crafting, and right now it looks like you can, there's a cooking station, sleeping bag, a little tent. That little tent is pretty awesome, actually. You can place a fire. I have no idea what Chesko's planning to do, but I do remember his Frostfall mod and how fires, the campfire played a very important role in that mod. So, I mean, maybe expect that maybe he'll do a new perk system or whatever involving that. That's what he did in Skyrim, at least. Power. Ooh, you get a tiny little portable generator and some construction lights. That's pretty cool. Expansion. This is the cool thing. If you want to take your camping area and you want to turn it into a full settlement, you can build with enough gear, screws, and steel. You can build a workshop, and wherever you build the workshop is going to be the center of the new settlement. But we're not going to build a workshop here because it's a stupid place to build it. And then a few miscellaneous things. Looks like an oil lamp is literally it for miscellaneous things. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot more that could be added, especially with the survival mode and how sleeping works and stuff like that. I would love to see it if Chesko adds a bigger so we keep the regular sleeping bag, but maybe a more impressive sleeping bag tent combination, so that you could have a full 6 hours or something like that instead of the miniature 3 hours or whatever you get. I mean, there's definitely lots of room for improvement. So I am not. I love the camping aspects and I love the settlement building aspects. I do think there's couple of things he could do. We need more stuff. Just more accoutrement wouldn't really hurt, you know, especially if you wanted to build more lamps and stuff like that. I don't really think you need any more crafting other than the cooking station. Maybe a chem, like a miniature portable chem station, so that you can make healing items. A new tent model with some sort of special bed in the tent that you can get the more than 3 hours. I think that is very important because in survival mode, as much as I love this mod, it still is pretty hard because you're pretty much using it for 3 hours sleep and to save your game. So pretty much it's there so that you don't die and that you don't have the you don't have that huge movement penalty because you've not slept in a while. Let's see. I think if he did his own perk system or created new perks in the game's perk system, that would be awesome. I'd love to see a perk that either like added levels to local leader or had the, like, you know how he says a maximum of 10 workshops, 10 new settlements or what have you. I would love to see it start off with, you could only start off by building maybe 2 extra settlements, and that after taking local leader 1 you could build 5, local leader 2 you could build 10, and like a third one you could build a 15, maybe a fourth one and build 20 or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, scale it up a little bit, but have it connected to a perk, or if he's thinking about doing his own perk system, that would be awesome, you know. Either way, those are my 5 mod picks for a survival playthrough. Once again, it's not really aimed at too much about immersion. It's just useful little things that I think improve the experience but don't degrade the challenge that you find in survival. Yeah. I want to thank you for watching, and yeah, hit the like, hit the subscribe, stay awesome, have a freaking great day.